Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Gabriela Fundora, another really big name in females boxing. Now, I know people talk about her, in my opinion. She may, no kidding, be the most talented. She may be the one to go on and become the face of women's boxing. And I'm being real. When you talk about skills, talk about power, dominating opponents, Gabriela Fundora can do it all. Now, there's a huge spotlight on women's boxing. And we all know the names, the one name in particular that keeps coming up. But I'm going to tell you this. Matter of fact, let me just show you what we're talking about here. Gabriela Fundora, 17-0, undisputed flyweight world champion at 22, youngest male or female undisputed champion in the four-belt era. That's amazing. But nobody hears about these things because everyone's so focused on one person, man, who owns the internet right now. And that's the GOAT. But tomorrow, she'll be defending her titles against Viviana Ruiz Corredor in California. But that's what everybody keeps saying. Can anyone stop this chick? She goes by the sweet poison. She is a problem. I'm telling you, man. And I'm going to show you why she's a problem. It says she's unstoppable. There's some other comments. But let me show you why she's unstoppable. 17 wins, 9 knockouts, 5'9", damn near 70-inch reach. She's bigger than most guys. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, she's bigger than Conor Benn and Shakur Stevenson. Now, as far as the weight, I'll tell you what she fights at. Okay, so 110. So she's light. She's a lot lighter than them, but she's taller and longer. Okay, that's crazy. But anyway, she's an undisputed champion. She gets busy. And at being 5'9", you know she can bubble herself up in weight over time. She's only 22. By the time she's 30, just think about how many weight divisions she'll ascend. From 110, maybe she goes up to 135 pounds. Now, as far as the women and their weight divisions, I'm not too familiar with how the weight divisions are, but I can tell you, she must run be another Serrano, another Pacquiao. Talking about 7, 8, maybe more weight divisions. At 5'9", who knows? And if that metabolism ever picks up, because her and her brother built like upside down slingshots. But that is her. And if you want to follow her, you can go on over to her Instagram page right here and check her out. You know what I mean? She has 41,000 followers. She only follows 91. But you can see she has some images and stuff here. You can go and check her out if you want to follow her. Now, her opponent, I really got to be honest with you, I don't know really a whole lot about her opponent. But she's coming from, let me close this out for you. She's coming from Australia, and she's coming to win. Viviana, let's just start with the Ruiz, because Corredor, I don't speak Spanish, but I know how to pronounce it, but I feel like you sound a little bit stupid if you don't really speak Spanish. You try to talk with pronouncing it in Spanish. But Viviana Ruiz, 10 wins, 5 KOs. She has 2 losses. Now, she stands at 5'2". Her reach is 62 inches. Y'all see the problem? Now, let's just look at this. She's 5'2", so there's a 7-inch height difference. She has a 62-inch reach. Fundora has a 69, so there's a 7-inch difference in height and a 7-inch difference in reach. So you already know who's going to win the fight. You know what I mean? But it's not Fundora's fault that she's so tall and long that she can get down to the weight and dominate these opponents. But anyway, to Viviana Ruiz, nice knowing you. Hasta la vista, baby. Because one thing for sure is Fundora's going to put the bing-bings on her, man. Now, that being said, when you have youth and you have the talent of a Fundora, there's a lot of upside. And that's why a lot of people, diehard boxing fans, talk about her. The casuals haven't quite caught on. But those who really know, just like her brother, you know there's something there. Now, her brother's done the business. He's a champion at 154. She's done the business. She's undisputed at her weight class in the female side. But there's something special about those Fundoras. But what I really want to emphasize is the technical ability. You got to watch your fight. If you like watching Caroline DeBar, you watch her. You watch Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, you watch her. You're going to see something. Any woman she fights going to be in trouble. That reach is just something else, man. Huge size advantage. It's almost unfair. Almost unfair to those women she in there fighting. And she's not like her brother where she'll compromise all of her height and her advantages. Now, she'll sit on the outside, man, and outbox him and dominate him and knock him out. But she doesn't mind the mash-up, crash-up either. You know, she gets busy. She doesn't mind getting into an ugly fight. As a female, she doesn't mind. She will scrap. But the one good thing about her, because of this, her fan base is growing. Not quite there where I think it deserves to be, but it's growing. I already talked about her height. I already talked about that reach. But she's also a lefty, southpaw like her brother. And that shit just creates huge problems for her opponents, man, because she can control distance and she's doing it from the southpaw stance, what makes things very, very tricky for the fighters. Now, I'm just going to tell you this. I like to highlight some of the strengths when it comes to these fighters. When it comes to her, that ring IQ is no joke. She's got patience. She approaches fights as a professional. She stays cool. She doesn't get too excited because she's all about the good shot selection. She's watching. She's watching. And she knows what shot she wants to throw. And then she's waiting to see what the person's going to give her. And once she zeroes in on that shit, lights out. Party done. You know what I mean? And that footwork, staying balanced, holding her positioning, punch variety, going to the body, going to the head. And she takes shots. She takes shots well, too. So I just think Saturday matters, you know, because it can elevate her profile. You look at what's going on. I mean, whether you like her or not, Clarissa Shields has people talking about Clarissa Shields. You talk about her, you talking about women's boxing. Jake Paul, the ESPN deal, a deal he has over there in the UK, just signed Michaela Mayer. His roster of women is just really blown up. But if you talk about him, MVP, you're talking about women's boxing. And now you look what's going on here with Fundora. So, and you look at my channel. Every day we talk women's boxing. So it's a really good opportunity for her, you know what I'm saying, to get her to continue moving forward to bigger fights. And remember, she can move up and weight. She just need to eat a couple of goddamn sandwiches because with that little frame she has, I'm sure some steak and potatoes, a potato salad, a nice fresh hot bread with some butter and cheese, she could put 20, 30 pounds on, no problem. But you look at her brother built, that could just be me talking shit. It'd probably take for her to get to age 30 before she could really put some size on. Their metabolism is crazy. Crazy. Her and her brother built the same. Look the same, too. You can tell they're siblings. He's 6'6", she's 5'9". She may grow more. She's only 22. I've had friends, man, get in their 20s and hit another growth spurt. What if she grow to 6'1"? I mean, you just don't know. But she has an opportunity to solidify her as one of the elite fighters in women's boxing and get people to talk more about her and what she brings to the table and not just be overshadowed by, you know, Clarissa Shields and some of the bigger names and the louder personalities. But I'll tell you what, she's gaining respect. People in women's boxing, it's not hard to gain respect when you look at some of the shenanigans taking place by a certain individual. But the bottom line is, when it comes to the next generation of women stars, if you have a disciplined personality, you conduct yourself like a professional, you're going to stand out anyway. But you really stand out like church shoes and white socks when you're surrounded by people like, I just say with loud personalities. Clarissa ain't the only one with a loud personality. She's just the goddamn loudest. You know what I'm saying? But when you have a disciplined personality, you can conduct yourself as a professional, you're improving your skill set. I tell you what, you have the ability to attract new fans. And I think that's what's going to happen this weekend and every time she fights. And I'll tell you this, some believe she could become a long-term champion across multiple weight divisions and go on to retire undefeated. And that's a very, very, very large praise from some of these boxing experts who don't want to give anybody credit, but for them to look at her and recognize what she brings to the table, I just had to say, job well done. But one thing for her, you ain't gonna get no drama like Clarissa Shields. Now, I posted the full sparring that was put up there by Coach Derek Santos of Clarissa Shields. Now, y'all seen the video, right? crazy to see that Clarissa Shields, what looks to me is just not being truthful about the sparring. Because we saw the video. The video is in direct contrast to what she said. You know what I mean? It totally contradicts everything she said. Well, she made it seem like she whipped his ass. You know, and I whipped his ass, and I did the first time we sparred, I whipped his ass and this and that. That ain't what I saw. And this is why you got to stop talking. Just stop talking. We know Clarissa fights men, spars men. But I watched that video of the guy. He was not trying to knock her out. He was going maybe 30%. He was working with her. She was trying her damnedest to knock him out. Even in the first sparring session, she's going as hard as she possibly can. And he obviously was able to handle it because, you know, she wasn't affecting him at all. So he didn't turn it up. Now, I didn't see nothing that looked suspicious to me. She's talking about the first time we sparred, I didn't feel nothing. The second time they sparred, because it's all in the video that I posted, the coach put it out on Instagram, and I asked him if I could use it. He told me yes. In the second sparring session, he looked like he was sparring her the exact same way. He ended up pulling her head down. She tried to fight him like a man and grabbed him and headlock, and, you know, she went straight flint on him and shit, you know what I'm saying? Straight flint stones on him. And then when they resumed sparring, he put a little bit more heat on them shots. And he caught her with that hook because she had that lazy-ass right hand. And he hit her, man, and he knocked her ass out. She was out. Then she came to when she hit the canvas. The way she went down, that wasn't stunned. No, she was knocked out cold. And she hit the canvas. She woke up. She's like, what's going on in here? What's going on in here? Where are we at? We in here? We here? We in here? Who is in here? Your ass is in here. But you are out for the count. Then you saw she got up. She was unsteady. She was walking unsteady. Then they started back sparring and the bell rang. All right. All right. But now that clip's circulating, it doesn't make Clarissa Shields look good. Makes her look goddamn crazy. I just don't understand why she had to come out here and talk. Like, why doesn't she just be quiet? You know what I'm saying? And I'm being honest with you. Let me see something. At this point in time, it's just time for Clarissa Shields to just be quiet. Because she's making herself look crazy every single day. It's like I always say, let me show y'all this. Nobody, so if y'all want, go and follow him. This guy right here, Derek Santos Boxing. Go follow him. Go and check him out. All right? Go and check him out and see what's going on. Y'all need to.
Yes, you can't do it. It's not possible. So don't even try it. You can't excuse your way out.
Right.
You can adjust your...
Hello, folks. I am Derek Santos. So unfortunately, we're back at this nonsense
I don't think you
propaganda
can
by Clarissa Shields.
You can fast forward videos here. Let me go to one of my channels. I'm going to show you, right? You can, because I just want to show y'all the part where she gets knocked out. Where's this here? Content, right? Oh, I'm clicking on the wrong damn side. Let me show y'all this knockout. It's short right here. I keep clicking on the wrong damn side. Okay. Let me show y'all what happened here. This is wild. Watch this knockout. But make sure y'all follow, y'all subscribe, follow.
Yeah. Hey, hold up.
Have you ever wanted a popular artist to comment on your video? Well, guess what? You have the chance.
Watch right here. See, he pulling her head down.
Don't hold her head down. Oh,
guys.
She's trying to fight him.
Whoa, guys, let's go break.
So they're scuffling right now. She's trying to fight him like a man.
Come on. But, hey, come on.
Now watch. Now he gonna start sparring again, and he gonna put a little more heat on them shots. Right? Now you can tell he's pissed off now.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh.
She's out. She's out. Watch when she's walking back to her corner. They show her feet. Look at her feet. Look at her feet. She's hurt. Now, where am I at here? Let me tell you, if she would have just left things alone, that video wouldn't even be circulating. She could have just left it alone. Because obviously, Coach Santos is saying, it's not true what she's saying about Roberto Duran's gloves. I don't have no gloves from no Roberto Duran, taking Patton out. She talking about going to get a knife, trying to set him up, or going to try to do something to him. The whole story is just all bad now. It's all bad, and it's pretty embarrassing, both for Clarissa Shields and now the online controversy. You know what I'm saying? But I'll say this: it's sparring. You're sparring a man. But she didn't say all that other stuff about him, them sparring and him kind of, getting a little aggressive, grabbing her head, pulling it down, and how she basically tried to turn into a street fight in the ring and try to manhandle him because she really thinks she can beat a man's ass. And then at least it wasn't even 10 seconds after they calmed him down and they went back to sparring. Not even 10 seconds after, he put some heat on that shit and knocked her ass out. I'll tell you what, that clip circulating online, it's caused most fans to, first it debunked all of her claims, but all the fans are looking at her crazy now. You know what I'm saying? There's no way you can interpret that footage any differently. Anyone interpreting as, she looked like she was winning, or he looked like he was going all out, that was a real fight. Nah, he was taking it easy until she, pissed him off by trying to, chump him. That's when it got bad for her. So social media and boxing drama, you know what I'm saying? The thing is, small clips go viral quickly, create headlines, fuel debates among fans, and the shit happens repeatedly across the sport. But she's the one that's putting this shit out there. How do you, if you're trying to promote a fight or build your brand or stay in the spotlight, why would you sit there and talk about something when the video is out there, the text evidence that can come out there and prove you to be a liar? I wouldn't say anything. I'd just be quiet. I'd like, yep, I got dropped, sparring. That's all I would have said. I would have said, yeah, sparring. Go on about my business. If you don't say anything, people, they'll talk for a while, but eventually they'll shut up. Can't keep feeding into it. But she's the one that threw it out there. And she's the one that, when if there's a question, she can't help but sit there and want to respond. But if you don't ask her a question, she'll say things to get you to ask her questions. And that's what she happened. She went back out there talking about this damn thing again, and now she's looking crazy. So there it is. She liked being in the headlines, so she's in the headlines again. I didn't put her in the headlines. She put herself back in the headlines. You know what I'm saying? But it's okay to be confident. But I don't know many people who have confidence who always find themselves in controversy. But despite the drama, women's boxing is expanding. And Clarissa, in one way or the other, the Fundoras, the Baumgartners, Jake Paul, Shadisha Greens, everybody out there, they're finding a way to expand women's boxing because there's more people invested in the sport, and new stars will be born. But one thing I'll tell you, I'm looking at MVP and what they're doing, picking up Michaela Mayer. I don't know what's in store for Clarissa with all this stuff she has going on. Maybe she's a promoter's dream, but maybe she's a promoter's worst nightmare. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But what I will say is that video that's circulating right there, the whole video makes her look crazy. Makes her look crazy. Anyway, rising stars like Fundora is gaining momentum, and you got established champions like Clarissa Shields facing intense scrutiny in the social media era. But at the end of the day, both dynamics are shaping the future of the sport, and kind of is what it is, right? I'll be going live tonight at 9, and we'll definitely be talking more in depth about whatever y'all decide to talk about. But we got to talk about all this shit with Clarissa and wanting to stab the man, and whether you think she's telling the truth or not. It's crazy. But y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.